my phone. It's about to be like 12 midnight, and we're about to do this story time. So bear with me, and let's get to it. And make sure you like and subscribe. Let's go. Hey, welcome back to another YouTube video. If you're new here, my name is Amyrromero, and if you haven't already, make sure you go down and subscribe. And yeah, turn on the post notifications so you will not miss out on a video because we're on our road to 100K. So yeah, I just remember a story that happened like a really long time ago. It was like what? It was like 8th grade, and I'm about to be a junior right now. So okay, I'm gonna be talking about how I made my dead teacher cry. So it's a big story. Okay, before I started, I just want to say like this is not a story. Well, I'm not saying the story to be like, oh my gosh, I'm like that B. I'm that B, will forever be that. Nah, I'm just like, it happened, so I'm gonna tell y'all the story and like just enjoy it, you feel me? And I don't encourage anybody to like do what I'm about to tell y'all. It was just something that happened that it kind of happened, and yeah, it was like #regret. But yeah, I'm not trying to like own up to it and be like, I'm so cool for doing this. That's not the point for me, cause no. All right, let's start it though. Let's start it. All right, so like I said, it was like back ago. It was like a long time ago. It was like back in middle school. It was like 8th grade, okay? And let me tell y'all, me like going to school, I've always been like that shy girl. Like if I was in class, I was not gonna be like, I'm right here, teacher, and like scream and like talk to other students and like be the class clown. You feel me? I was never that B. But let me tell you something. I was kind of like, I'm like, oh, I got energy. You feel, I have energy. You know, I'm down for anything and stuff. And I guess I'm like funny or like whatever you want to call me. Like I'm that girl that does this in class. You feel me? That like makes people laugh but like isn't really funny. That's just, you look stupid. Okay, I'm that girl, okay? So like going into like middle school, I was so like excited because my whole elementary school was like so like dead. I was so like loner. So middle school, I was like, you know what? Like it's time to break out of my shell. And I remember going through like 7th grade, I didn't break out of my shell for nothing, okay? I was still that quiet B, and I was like, bro, 8th grade, this is my year, you feel me? So I was like, I'm about to go in there and like have some fun, you feel me? Like actually have fun, talk to people, make friends, because I've always been like loner. Like I've never had friends, you feel me? All right, so it's 8th grade year, okay? And I'm like, all right, I'm about to talk in each of my class. I'm about to be that class clown, you feel me? Stupidest thing I ever decided to even do. Like if I were you, I just shut up, just don't even talk. It's so annoying. Don't even talk, you feel me? Okay, but okay, either way, it was like 8th grade, and I remember like having brand new classes, having no friends. So I was like, I better make friends in classes. I better start talking to people. I better start screaming in class to like make friends, you feel me, or something. So I got my classes. I'm going through like each of my classes, you feel me? Hold on. Ooh. Alright, so I'm going through like each of my classes, and I ended up going to like my 3rd period. In my 3rd period class was English, okay? And English was Miss Avalos. And let me tell y'all, rest in peace if you had Miss if you guys feel like a squeaky like noise, look. Oh, if you guys feel like a little squeaky thing, it's this stupid chair, okay? Because I don't know. Either way, so I had Miss Avalos, okay? And Miss Avalos was that teacher that was the grumpy teacher. The teacher that all the upper heads were like, oh my gosh, like rest in peace if you have her. You're gonna have like the worst school year if you're with her, you feel me? So she was that teacher. And I remember going into like her class, and like before like going in, people were like, you got Miss Avalos? Like, girl, rest in peace, girl, because you about to have like the worst year, you feel me? So just keep in mind, like she was like the scary like English teacher that everybody hated because she was grumpy, she was strict, you feel me? She was a strict teacher. I was like, okay, like, oh. So I remember like like coming in class, I sit in the back, and she, you know, she's setting the rules, okay? This is her. All right, students, ain't nobody talking in my class. Nobody. You talk, you're going to the office. You're having fun, you're going to hell. So she's just sitting like, she's just putting these strict rules on us, and I'm like, not this year, honey. I want to break out my shell, honey. Like you picked the worst year, you feel me? Stupid idea. Either way, I remember she did roll call, and she called my name. She's like, Amyrromero, where you at? And I was like, I'm right here, teacher. Bro, ever since that day, nah. And then ever since right there, that's when like I met like one of my best friends. She like ended up like boom turning her like head. She saw me, and then we just like became tight as hell. And then let me just tell y'all, after that, after I did what I did, the whole class became rowdy. They started screaming. They weren't scared of the teacher no more. They were screaming because they saw me like not getting sent to the office. Like nothing really happened. She just like looked at me like the teacher was like, why did you scream? It was like everybody got big bold with her type. Like if she told you to sit down, you would like probably argue with her and then you would sit down. You feel me? Like just stuff like that. Okay, that's how the whole class became. Let me just tell you that. It's just I just want to like let y'all know, like I'm just explaining myself. You feel me? Like I'm just letting y'all know like what's good. You feel me? Because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, like you think you're cool. No, it's just like that's what like I had in my head. You feel me? Yeah. Fast forward to second semester of 8th grade. I'm chilling with like one of my best friends that I just like met. You know, we became like hella tight, and we were like what, like 2 or 3 other guys, and like maybe yeah. Okay, so we were like chilling in the back seat. You feel me? And they were talking about hickeys, you guys. Hickeys. If you guys don't know what hickeys are, good. But if you do, you feel me? They was like talking about that, and at the time I was like, what are hickeys? Like, wow. They're red marks? What are that? Like, you feel me? I was so innocent. I was like, bitch, what is that? And I still don't know what it is. I had to like search that up. You feel me? Either way. Okay, so like they were talking about it. It was like 10 minutes in. We were, like they're talking about it, and I'm kind of like getting in the combo. Like, ooh, like what is that? Like I don't know. You know, feel me? So that's in my head, like hickeys. Okay. Like 10 minutes later passed during that class. Miss Avalos, that's her name. Miss Avalos was like, all right, students, like go ahead, get in a big circle. Boom, around the class, right? You remember those circles, you feel me? So we get in like a circle. She's in the middle. She starts it off the left, and me and my like friends and a bunch of other heads were like on the right side of like the circle, okay? So she starts the circle at the left, so the circle's going like boom. Okay, so I'm gonna like come at the end, okay? And yeah, so everybody's like taking a turn like to talk or whatnot, and I'm still waiting. Oh, and let me tell y'all, if you go back to like one of my like vlogs in my YouTube channel, like my 16th birthday vlog, I filmed me in like my math class, and if you could see my like math teacher, she looks exactly like Miss Avalos, bro. Like she looks exactly like that, just skinnier and like older, like with more wrinkles. Yeah, it was if y'all want to know how she looks. But yeah, either way. All right, so now boom, it's my turn to speak. Okay, Miss Avalos is like, okay, Amy, like I don't know what she asked, but she like basically said like, all right, Amy, it's your turn. You feel me? So I remember like licking at her, you feel me? So I'm like right side, she's like in the middle, far and left, yeah. So I remember looking at her. You guys are her, okay? I'm like, you feel me? Because she has something like right here, and I was like, bro, this is the time to like bust a joke and like make the class like laugh, you feel me? Some stupid stuff, you me? Some stupid stuff I was on, like I was on some class clown stuff, okay? So I remember like she had like a little red mark on here, all right? And I was like, I like looked at her, I'm like, oh, Miss Avalos, is that a hickey? And the whole class, let me tell y'all, the whole class was monkeys, bro. They was like, oh my gosh, like Miss Avalos has a hickey, da, da, da. And everybody's screaming, laughing, like mimicking it, mocking it. And then this is when life turned the tables around me, because all right, so then Miss Avalos like looks at me, boom, I'm gonna look at y'all, boom, no, Amy, it's skin cancer. And let me tell y'all, as soon as she said that, her eye got all red, and then the whole class, boom. Y'all hear that? Exactly, you hear nothing. That's how the class was. It was just like all silent, and I was like, like you got me, you Amy, you're a piece of. That's what I thought to my head. As soon as like the whole class like goes boom, she's like, I was gonna tell you students, but you guys are so busy like making this class so horrible, da da da. And then that's when like her eyes got all red, and she just kind of like, I guess, teared up. And then the whole class turned to me, and they're like, Amy, you're so stupid. Oh my gosh, like bro, y'all was like making fun of it. Like what? Like blame yourself too. Like you feel me? Like it could have been like a dead moment silent where it was just like me, like you feel me? But nah, it was y'all too. So then that's when she's like, all right, everybody sit down. That's when we like sit down, and everybody's like, oh, I feel bad. Everybody feels bad at this point. And then the class was over, and I think I came up to her after class or like the next day, but I was basically like, oh, like Miss Avalos, like I apologize, like that wasn't my attention, you feel me? Like it was just like, you know, we're talking about it, and just like it just kind of like, I thought it was funny to say to you, because I thought you were gonna laugh, you feel me? And no, it wasn't like that. It was like, yeah. And then that's when she's like, oh my gosh, like leave. She was pissed. And the next day I come back to school. She sends me to the office. I get in trouble for asking an adult like inappropriate questions. And then like I was like, at the time I was like, how is that bad? I'm just like joking around. Like, you can't joke around with your teacher. But now looking back at it, it was really bad, because not only that, like, I was just joking, but like it was like serious. All right, so I guess that's what happened like during like 8th grade. Okay, like that's what happened, like how I made her cry, whatever. And fast forward to like my freshman year. You know, I finished like middle school, I graduated or promote. Now I'm into like freshman year. I remember like a couple months into freshman year, I remember like being on my Snapchat and like going through like stories, and then like seeing a story saying like, "Get well soon, Miss Avalos." And I was like, what do you mean get well soon? Like, what the, y'all like joking around? Because like we were young, we're like freshmen, so like our grade level was like, jokes. So I was like you better be capping. And like it was actually her in like a bed in the hospital. I was like, I'm going to hell. Like, nah, you feel me? When I saw like the stories, I was like, bro, like, oh my gosh, like I knew she was gonna like overcome it, so I wasn't like tripping. And then like later on, you guys, let me tell y'all, I go on my Snapchat story and I see "Rest in Peace, Miss Avalos." Okay, this was like a month later. I see "Rest in Peace, Miss Avalos" on my Snapchat stories with like her with the angel wings. You know how I ended up like ignoring it just because like it's like our grade level. I'm not gonna hear it from like students. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna hear from like adults, but that's kind of stupid. Like, what are you gonna hear from adults? But either way, I end up going to school that later day. I end up like going to school. You feel me? And then there's kids coming up to me that like went to like my school and like are the same grade level. They come up to me, they're like, "Oh my gosh, like you killed Miss Avalos, you killed our old like English teacher." And they're like throwing up these saying signs. They're like, "You killed her." It's like doing the most. I'm like, and yeah, everybody, like, that's how I made my dead teacher cry. Yeah, that like low-key sad, like hearing her like pass away, especially like right after not even a year, but a couple months after like her teaching art class, and us being like a hard time for her was so like, bro, like I'm never gonna be messed up to a teacher. So if you're a student, do not be messed up to your teacher. Be nice to them. Don't be loud, don't be annoying. And like, yeah, 8th grade, I learned a lot of stuff. Y'all might call me like, "Oh my gosh, you think you're so cool. Oh my gosh, like you're that annoying little girl that screams in class." Probably I was, but now I learn. Yeah, I've changed. But yeah, this story is really messed up. Yeah, Miss Avalos, if you're watching this, like, you know I didn't mean it. Like, you know you was my BBG from day one. Like, all the times that you sent me out of class for eating, for talking, and greeting you when I barely got into class. Like, you know I loved you. Like, rest in peace though. Like, that was really tough. Either way, YouTube, ended off right here. Let me know down in the comments. If you cannot comment, Instagram me, direct message me, DM me, talking about, "Oh, you should do this video, you know, do this and that." And yeah, I'll reply, and I'll probably do some of your video ideas. And yeah, if y'all want to hear more story times, if y'all enjoy this one, make sure y'all drop a like and subscribe.